I got this part stuck in bike spokes, bike spokes. Yeah, so it was torn.
Where did you keep those pants that they have those things on the bottom?
No, they don't.
They
I
look
don't know
like
if
they
it's
do.
one of those where you're inoculating yourself completely or if you're reducing the severity and the likelihood. I don't know.
Going to call the meeting of the West Des Moines City Council to order and invite you all to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, that gavel hopefully woke everybody up. Please sign in. And I want to mention that Councilwoman Hardman is on her way. She had an emergency come up at Broadlawns, and she got delayed a little bit, but she is on her way as we speak.
4 members present.
Okay, Ryan, have there been any changes to the agenda?
No changes, Your Honor.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, item 2, Citizens Forum. Anybody in the audience that would like to address the council on any item that is not part of new business or public hearings, please come up to the podium here, give us your name and address for the record. We ask that you keep it to 5 minutes or less, and we ask that you keep it civil and respectful. Is there anybody in the audience, and then I will go online, is there anybody in the audience who would like to address the council on Citizens Forum? The room is still. I'm going to take that as a sign that no one is interested. Okay, anybody online that's interested in addressing the council on any item that is not either a part of new business or public hearings, please hit *6, not #6 or #6 as the kids know it, but *6 to unmute yourself. Give us your name and address for the record. Okay, hearing no one. We'll move on to item 3, Mayor, Council, Manager Report, Other Entities Update, and we're going to start with Greg Edwards from Greater Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau, who has, I believe, a brief presentation.
You emphasized brief, didn't you?
2 minutes.
Take your time, take your time. 3 minutes or less would be preferred.
I was going to give him 2.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager, beloved guests. I know that's why you're here. Great seats.
You bring out a big crowd.
Yeah, nothing like it. It's our annual report to you, and I think we've got some really good news and good things to share with you this evening. Also with me is Trina Flack, our Vice President of Sales, Sports and Services, and Brock Conrad, our Vice President of Marketing. And way back in the audience, where'd she go? Our friends Janet Kerner, wave your hand. Janet, long time resident of West Des Moines. Kids went to Valley. She hated my kids who went to Dowling, but then her grandkids went to Dowling, so it evened out. Oh, sorry, I had to say all that. And Laura Jass, who runs our sports sales efforts with the CVB. Okay, do I need to go to?
Oh, I didn't start the
Slideshow.
slideshow for you.
There we go. I got it. Yep. All right, I think you're all aware of travelers, how they travel to Des Moines, the metro area. They spend money shopping, hotels, restaurants, entertainment, et cetera, et cetera. They spend the night in a hotel. When they leave, they pay a 7% hotel motel tax, which goes then to the state of Iowa. The state of Iowa then returns those dollars, 2/7 to Catch Des Moines, 2/7 to Bravo, and 3/7 do remain with all the cities that we represent. So we've done a lot of new research this past year. There's all these new companies out there that are really doing in-depth research on visitors, visitor spending, things like that. And we analyzed all these different companies and really talked to a lot of people across the country, and we have hired this company called Arrivalist, and we now get monthly reports to them that will really show us true data. Even though people may have come and stayed in Ankeny, did they shop at Jordan Creek, or what did they do while they were here? So we've got all kinds of data. We're still analyzing it quite a bit. Our ad agency, Flynn Wright, also helped us do a lot of sorting through that and quantifying the numbers and things like that. But last year we showed that 5.8 million visitors did come to Des Moines. The average length of stay was 2.8 nights. Top states by origin, Iowa, of course, is our #1 state, but we're really surprised to see these other states coming in strong. Minnesota, #2, Illinois, Nebraska, Missouri, Wisconsin. As far as Texas, California, #8, Kansas, #9, and Colorado, #10. Which I think, too, because of our advertising reach, which Brock will talk about a little bit later in the presentation, I think we really are reaching out to a lot more of those, not just the Midwestern states. Top points of interest, it'll tell us what are the most frequently visited places for visitors. The International Airport was #1, Jordan Creek Town Center was #2, Iowa Event Center 3, Court Avenue, Mid-American Energy Recplex is already showing up on our boards, the State Fairgrounds, East Village, Prairie Meadows, and Adventureland. Top points of interest in West Des Moines, Jordan Creek, no surprise, your Mid-American Energy Recplex, West Glen Town Center, Holiday Park, Smash Park, Valley Junction, and Raccoon River Park.
Is that in any order, or it's just the?
That is the order of, so Jordan Creek had the most, and then followed by the rest of those. West Des Moines occupancies. You guys have always really led the region in your occupancy. You can see last year, your occupancy at 60.3%. The Metro is at 55.3. Your average daily rate at $110. Metro is $111, so you were up at the top of that as well. And you can see the numbers for previous years, even during COVID, when people really slipped in occupancy and average daily rates, you were still above the rest of the lines anyway. Last year in review, we hosted 332 conventions that either utilized our services or that we actually directly brought into the community. 176 of those did occur because of our sales efforts, Trina and her team. And we booked another 209 future conventions, meetings, sporting events throughout the metro area. And on that, I'm going to turn it over to Trina.
So West Des Moines obviously has a huge impact on our sales efforts, and we make a strong effort to sell West Des Moines as part of our regional sales effort. So our team sent 92 leads to West Des Moines properties last year. There were 60 events specifically held at West Des Moines properties or used West Des Moines hotels, and we booked 58 for future years into West Des Moines. Just that I would touch on a few of the highlights. Obviously, with the opening of the Mid-American Energy Recplex, that team has been just hugely instrumental into our sales efforts, and that facility is a gem. It is, people see it and they want to host their event there, and it really does put us on a national level, just that first class. So NAIA men's volleyball was held there in April of 2023. The USA Volleyball Regional Championships, which is an event that happens over 3 weekends. It also happens at Drake. AAU Junior Olympics, which will be held this summer, a 10-day event with 14,000 athletes. That historically, those indoor events were held at the Iowa Event Center, and we've shifted that to the Recplex starting in 2023. We've also secured that event for 2026 and 2030, so that'll repeat back to the Metro. Major League Quad Ball, which is known as Quidditch. Shane and the team at the Recplex knocked it out of the park. Laura brought that group in for a site visit, and they knew what quad ball was. They could, outline the fields and the spaces to it, and ended up securing it for West Des Moines and the greater Des Moines area. The Midwest JVA Challenge is an event that was historically just held at the Iowa Event Center, and with the opening of the Recplex, we were able to double the size of that tournament. So it's held in May each year. And All Iowa Attack, which is a primary tenant of the Recplex, was a COVID success story, holding 3 weekends of basketball at the Iowa Event Center. Now they use both facilities and just look to continue to grow their footprint in the summer. So it really impacted our July weekends. We obviously operate as a region in a lot of what we do. So it's kind of an economic development lens in the fact that we identify a group or a possible event through our sales efforts, and then we say, okay, where in Greater Des Moines could this be held? So when you look at some of the rest of these events, it shows that West Des Moines has stepped forward as a major regional player, but also that you've got the venues and the support to host an event. So the USA Rugby, Councilman Lotz was a huge part of making that happen for this summer at the rugby fields in West Des Moines. So thank you for being a catch champion there. Ironman this year will host a 70.3, which the bike course is really all through West Des Moines. And that's an event that doesn't happen unless we work as a region. And the West Des Moines team stepped up huge in terms of supporting that event and helping to make it happen the last 2 years and moving forward. So that's unreal. NCAA men's basketball first and second round, which will be here in a few weeks, March 16th and 18th. Those games happen at Wells Fargo Arena. But again, it's a regional thing. We work with Drake University and the Iowa Event Center to make that happen. We'll host 8 teams. 4 teams will stay downtown and 4 teams will stay at West Des Moines hotels. So that's really just showing the impact of the region there. USSSA baseball and USSSA softball, USA softball, obviously heavy users of Raccoon and Holiday Parks. Bob Egger really owns that sweet spot of baseball, softball, but we support him through those bids. And again, that stuff just really doesn't happen without a regional effort. On the convention side, we're going to host the Central States Shrine Convention in 2025. That'll bring just a ton of Shriners. We haven't hosted that event. It was 2004, I believe, when it was last here. The West Des Moines Sheridan will be that headquarter hotel, and then they'll use hotels throughout the metro. And the National Speech and Debate Tournament, which is headquartered here in West Des Moines, Scott One. We'll host them in 2024 and 2025. They'll not only use all of the Iowa Event Center, they'll use Waukee schools, West Des Moines schools, and bring about 10,000 participants for those 2 years. So continuing to look ahead, I've mentioned some of those for future years. And then there's just always a slew of additional bids as we look forward. I've touched on a lot specific to West Des Moines, but just wanted to really show that 2023 is going to just be a banner year. Visitors are coming back, events, people are ready to meet, ready to be here. We just have a strong, strong season. There's events that are annual events, like a World Pork Expo at the fairgrounds, which I would say like the West Des Moines Sheraton, the West Des Moines Marriott. There's all those like side corporate events that happen. So just really showing that even if it doesn't physically happen here, you see those visitors, and we really rely on West Des Moines for a lot of those events. I don't know that there's RAGBRAI is the other one that I think hasn't been in the metro, really through the metro in 10 years. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. The National Veterans Golden Age Games.
Are they going through Des Moines this year?
Des
Des Moines will be the overnight community. They're coming from Ames. I think it's to be determined on what that looks like it did last time. National Veterans Golden Age Games will be in May. They'll also use the Recplex as part of their events. And yeah, just a good series of events. Any specific questions on events?
Any questions on events for Trina at all?
With that, I'll turn it over to Brock on marketing.
Okay.
All right, so obviously we supplement a lot of the things that we do with Trina and her team to help her team market the region, not only locally, but obviously nationally. We also do the same thing on the leisure side of travel. So as you can see here, some of our numbers from last year, we had over 1.5 million website visits, by far the most we've ever had. A lot of that is due to, one, the marketing efforts we're doing advertising-wise and making sure that we're targeting the correct people, which we're able to do now because of that arrival list data that we have. Secondly is that we're creating a lot of really great content on our website that we're able to share out and get people excited about traveling here. So just a little bit of our marketing strategy. In 21-22, we actually spent over $1.1 million of our funds on advertising the region. Below is some of the marketing mediums we used. 5 years ago, traditionally, we did a lot of TV, a lot of print, a little bit of digital. As you can see there, we've really made an effort to get people at every single level that we can find them on the internet, on their smartphones, et cetera. So you have broadcast TV there, connected TV streaming, paid social media, organic social media, search engine marketing. So when people are searching for things, we're finding them and getting our name in front of them over some of our competitors. Radio streaming. As you can see, there's a long list there. Email marketing, YouTube. We do it all, and we're doing a really good job of trying to keep in front of everybody there. Specifically, marketing with West Des Moines. I wanted to pull some of these that we did when we're creating these contents that we feature specifically West Des Moines. So we had West Des Moines businesses featured in over 70 newsletters last year in 21-22. Over 20 blogs. We did 2 best videos, which we claim are kind of our iconic videos that we're trying to get people excited about specifically doing these things in our region. Those 2 were Smash Park. We did one with them. And then we also did one with Valley Junction that we were really proud of. We did 2 different sales and sports videos, 7 TikTok and Instagram reels. We did 5 different event and venue announcements, and then also 9 trip itineraries. All of that content we used in that $1.1 million advertising campaign. So we're really happy with that. A lot of great success with it. TikTok. Yep, TikTok. TikTok's been huge for us. I'll let Greg take over. Yeah,
We're almost done.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not going to read you these quotes, but reached out to a couple of your largest hotel owners in the community, both Kinseth Properties that own 4 hotels in West Des Moines, Heart of America, which you're familiar with that group. And these are a couple of quotes a couple of their regional directors sent us that you can read at your convenience. And last but not least, we want to share with you our sports venue video that Brock and Trina and their teams put together, along with Flynn Wright gives us a helping hand with it. But it's really a cool new video. And you probably saw recently on some of the news channels that sports makes up so much of what we're bringing in now. This will be used as a lure video when we're hyping other groups. It'll be used internally when groups are coming into town, show it at the Recplex, different places like that, during the NCAA events and what have you. So hopefully this will play.
And now, the starting lineup for your Greater Des Moines sports venue. A 3-venue multi-purpose complex in the heart of downtown Des Moines with a 17,000-seat arena and attached convention hotel. The Iowa Event Center. An 88,000 square foot skate park, centrally located along the principal Riverwalk with both park and street courses. The Lawrence Skate Park. A 66-acre state-of-the-art indoor and outdoor complex in West Des Moines, offering ice arenas and soccer fields, along with basketball and volleyball courts. The Mid-American Energy Company Recplex. Olympic-sized pool with capacity for 1,500 spectators, located in downtown Des Moines, the Wellmark YMCA Pool. A 14,500-seat stadium on Drake University, featuring the iconic Blue Oval, one of the premier track and field facilities in the country. Drake Stadium.
good. That's good.
That is phenomenal.
That's good.
Knocked it out of the park.
The game changer.
You get an A+ on that one.
That was
That's
really
That
good.
is a phenomenal video.
Who'd you
Happy to
work
answer your
with?
questions.
Who'd you work with to make that video? Trilix? Trilix?
Flynn Wright's our agency that we work
Yeah.
Flynn Wright, okay.
A lot of that was created in-house, though. Our creative director has a really great vision for videos, does a great job. But
So good.
obviously, Trina and her team had a lot of input. It's a big team effort.
That is amazing, really good.
Excellent.
Okay, any questions at
Good
all
vibe to
for Greg, Trina, or Brock?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay.
Not really a question, but more just a comment. So I serve on the board of CVB and Catch Des Moines, and it's certainly a pleasure to be on that board because I get to learn a lot of the happenings and the goings on, not just in the region, but also with what's going on with your team. And I just have to say, I know firsthand, Greg, Trina, Brock, the entire team works so hard. They work so hard to bring people to the Des Moines area. And I think the things that you don't see are their team pursuing leads with almost like gazelle-like intensity. If there's a lead, they keep their ear to the ground. They hear something about, oh, what's this about women's rugby? Let's learn about it. Let's find out about it, and let's see if we can bring it here. And the fact that they want to help bring events, in this case to West Des Moines, but to the entire metro is huge. Because other than Des Moines, I believe West Des Moines has the most hotels in the area, yes? And when it comes to like second place, no one even comes close to being second place. Am I right on that? Which means when the NCAA tournament comes here, so many people are staying in West Des Moines, not just 4 teams, which is really cool, by the way, but not just 4 teams. All of those fans, so many of them are staying in West Des Moines. And I think that's important to understand because when people come to the Des Moines area, they're coming to West Des Moines. So I know you all are working hard, and I just want to thank you for the presentation, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Greg, for being a representative and serving on that. Really appreciate all your efforts there, too. So, anybody else?
No, I'll just say real quick, Greg, thank you for the work that your team and Laura has been a delight to work with, and what you're doing to, especially with the rugby stuff here recently. I was really proud at how quickly you guys jumped on that and helped us get it over the line. So we got more work ahead of us to do before it gets to be summertime and that comes into town. But thank you for your efforts.
But we're there with you all the way.
I'd just like to say also thank you for your report. You know, I know that there's a 1,000 data points that you could share, but you have to size it down to a presentation that we could listen to for the period of time. Great stuff. My question is, at one point in time, you all were using community ambassadors. I remember like a Mary Chapman was and whatever. Are you guys still doing that? That's my first question. And then post-pandemic, and how are we back to pre-pandemic numbers for stuff? Or is that creeping, or what's your thoughts?
We are, yeah. First on ambassadors, yes, we still utilize Mary, and we
Okay.
still utilize, we have formed several different other segment groups now.
Okay.
So we have our diversity group that we formed a year and a half or so ago, and we
Okay,
meet
I remember some of
quarterly.
that.
We have our sports advisory group,
Okay.
which is made up of sports people from the entire metro. And then Brock is just formed an attractions group that would be everything from the Civic Center to Adventureland. Jordan Creek would be invited, different places like that throughout the metro, Valley Junction, et cetera. So, yeah, we've got all kinds of niche stuff going out there.
Okay.
Oh, COVID-wise, post-COVID, we're back, as you saw with groups and leisure business, but business travel is still not back to where.
Okay, I see.
And that's what you'll see. You're still seeing, we see these spikes in occupancy. You know, last week or 2 weeks ago, Iowa Pork was in, then we had the big Iowa Ag Expo
Yeah, I
show.
remember that.
We saw the spike in occupancy, but the spikes are only like 60%, where if business travel were here, we would have been 80, 90% occupancy metro-wide. So that's still hurting. You see it with Wells Fargo and a lot of the big companies. You know, they're still not traveling like they used to.
Yeah, Teams and Zoom has, they get a lot done with
Yes.
that. Cutting the travel budgets, right?
They figure they can do that much cheaper, I guess.
I
but
guess.
We're saying, bring them on, you gotta be face to face.
Okay, bring them on. Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you also for highlighting West Des Moines in the video and in the materials you've shared. I'm curious, obviously you've landed a lot of great events and things to look forward to, but what is it that, maybe some event or something you guys were looking at to bring here? And, is there something that the community doesn't have that you'd be looking at to, attract the next event here?
What did you say?
Good answer, good answer. Water park.
I'm just, I don't know, what is it that folks are looking at that, maybe the Metro?
And people ask me that all the time. What's that big thing you want? You got the NCAA, the Super Bowl we're working on. We haven't quite built the stadium. But, our team does such a good job, and Laura's a great example of that, of really finding a lot of these niche things that we bring in. And I think the more we can do that, you look at our sports stuff alone, rugby, quad ball, which is Quidditch. Do you guys even know what that is? Harry Potter that has little kids. It's a Harry Potter game. In fact, Harry Potter people said, no, you can't use that. You have to change the name to quad ball. You know how people are today. But little things like that, If we could land again NCAA wrestling championships, they outgrew us. They're filling 22,000 seat arenas now. If we could bring something like that in, people talk to us about like the Frozen Four. I mean, with your help, we're becoming a pretty strong hockey community. But the Frozen Four, you've got to have that school, that university level to host, and we don't have any university level hockey teams here. There's big conventions and stuff that we're always chasing that probably don't get the headlines, but, just really continue what we do. All these new venues, in fact, I usually show a slide, which we did, and, besides the Recplex, you got the Grimes thing going now, you got the Ignite in Johnston, you got the Ankeny new indoor stuff they have going up there, all these different things. I mean, on one hand, it's like when these hotels get built, we kind of go panic. How are we going to keep these full, But this is exciting because I remember, gosh, I bet it was 18 years ago, we did a study. We brought in this sports guru. Tell us what we need in this community. And basically he said, you need more indoor rec facilities because our winters are so crappy. And, but at the time, times weren't right for anybody to be building that. And then all of a sudden, boom. You build yours, and now everybody else is going crazy. But that's good for us, too. That all helps. Thank you, Paul.
At one time, I know we were looking at NAACP as national convention. Is that still kind of something we're trying to pursue? That's the, yeah.
We would love to.
Okay.
But we just, they've really given us a cold shoulder, and
okay.
we haven't had a way to get back into them.
Okay.
But we would love to host that in a second. What a coup that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say, too, Delta Sigma Theta, the national sorority, which we have over 275,000 members. We have 7 regional conferences throughout the year, and we did host one in Des Moines. I co-chaired that.
Yes.
And folks are still talking about how everything was wonderful in Des Moines.
Good.
First they were a little nervous, thinking, Des Moines, Iowa, we're coming for our regional conference. But they walked away feeling such, the food and the hotel and the staff that you all had and with our top echelon folks was just as gracious as any of our 7 regions. So they're still talking about, of the 7 regions, how Des Moines made them feel. And I was really proud to co-chair that regional conference, bringing that to Des Moines after 20-something years.
I know you did, so thank you. Yeah, and bring them back again.
Okay.
Any of those little, we hosted, a long time ago, you probably remember, we hosted the Black Legislative Women, I think.
Yeah.
10, 12 years ago. So
Yeah, that
not a
would be
huge
nice.
group, but
Yeah.
it gets a lot of national coverage for us
Yeah,
and
it sure
stuff.
does.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Greg, on a personal note, I want to thank you and your staff for everything you've done to help with the Shrine Convention. The temple I belong to is hosting it in 2025.
Right.
And I know we're 2.5 years away, but it'll be here before we know it. And I know we still got, some work to do on that, but I appreciate everything you've done to facilitate
It's great
that.
to have them back here. Yeah, I was here
Yeah.
the last time they were here, so.
Yeah.
Just let me drive one of those little cars, will you?
That probably could be arranged.
The head honcho.
All right, well, thank you so much, Greg and Catch Des Moines, for being here and for everything that you guys do for us. We really appreciate all of your efforts. So thank you so much for coming in. All right, now we're going to move on to Sally Orkes and Allison Alstead and the Public Art Advisory Commission that is here.
Ryan Crane. Hi, we see Ryan out there.
Good evening.
Ryan and Rita and Brenda.
Okay. I don't know about you, but my heart is kind of racing after that video.
It was pretty intense.
Very intense.
It was intense.
All
A little
right,
adrenaline rush.
Sally, take it away.
Okay, so we are going to give you just a report on public art and our program here in West Des Moines. And just as a reminder, we have 7 commission members who meet diligently pretty much every month, and committee meetings in between. And we've got 3 of them with us here tonight. Brenda Sedlacek, our chair, Rita Luther, and Ryan Crane. So thank you to them for being here tonight. We also have Mahesh Mathrubootham is our secretary, Jeff Phillips is our vice chair, we have Diane Boyd, and Amanda Tate rounding out that commission. As far as staff involved with the public art program, in addition to myself, Ryan Penning, our assistant director, Allison Olested, who's here in the front row, our arts culture enrichment supervisor, and Marnie Straight, our arts culture and enrichment coordinator. I'm not going to read all this to you, but the group has a very well-defined vision and mission that helps guide them in all of their work. One thing you'll notice on the agenda tonight is an updated public art master plan that they have been working on for just about at least 1.5 years, probably going on 2 years, just to get some updates done. And there were a few tweaks to that vision and mission as a part of that work. For those maybe not as familiar with our public art program, just a very short history lesson. The very first public art master plan was approved by City Council back in 2008, but the commission was not formed until 2011. And at that time, the council also approved a resolution that created a public art fund that uses hotel motel tax as funding for that. We are now up to 36 individual pieces of artwork in our community, and you can see the total value is now up over $1 million. So a lot of work has been put into this in a relatively short period of time. We started back in 1999, prior to the formation of the commission, with some artwork in Raccoon River Park at the entrance and also wall tiles at the Nature Lodge. Once the commission got going, they went full steam ahead. And you can see over the years, they have developed some really nice artwork here in West Des Moines. Their first commissioned piece was in 2017, Surrounds, which is a series of 5 sculptures along the Jordan Creek Trail. And if you've used that trail, you've probably seen the brightly colored animals here and there. Some of the major works, that really stand out, Folded Flags, which we were able to dedicate back in 2019. And in 2022, we were able to dedicate Progression just right outside here at the amphitheater. That has proven to be an extremely popular artwork for us.
Is that going to be
It's permanent. Yes, that's a permanent piece in our collection. So it will be there for as long as we as long as we hope it'll be there forever, right?
Now, it's nobody in specific, right? Or is it somebody, is this made after somebody in specific? I had somebody that was a visitor here.
Confluence?
Well, yeah, I had somebody here ask me if this was, George Mills or, somebody. I said, no, I think it's just a piece of artwork that we got.
It's a figment of the artist's imagination. And I did just want to mention that Confluence was donated to the city by Brenda Sedlacek's family in honor of her. So it's fun to have things like that.
Thank you,
happen.
Brenda. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a very nice donation. 3 projects that we are currently working on that will come to fruition here in the next year. We have a project going on at the new Raccoon River Park Playground that's going in and under construction right now. And that's going to be a sensory art wall. So it's going to go into an area of the playground that is meant to be kind of a quiet space for children that may be on the autism spectrum. And this sensory wall gives them an opportunity to really experience all 5 of their senses in this quiet space. So
Yeah, those are getting pretty popular. There's schools that are putting in sensory walls, like King Elementary is looking into, they commissioned someone to create that, so that's pretty popular.
yeah, we're excited about this. We have a really nice committee work group that is set up working on this project that has experience with their own children, or Melissa Clark-Worf, who works with us on the park board and with Can Play, is also on that work group. The second project that is in the works is the public art project on the Railroad Park restrooms, and we'll be getting that going here. And then the third one are art shelters that we are collaborating with DART on. So those 3 will be coming. In addition to the permanent collection, we also have 2 temporary public art exhibits that happen every year, annually. Art on the Campus is right outside here around the pond, and we do a $2,000 stipend for each artist, and that rotates in and out every year. As you can see, over the years since 2013, when that exhibit started, we've had 128 different artworks around the campus here, and the cost of all of that was $189,000, all directly going to artists in our community. West Des Moines Murals was started just a couple years ago, back in 2021. And this was a case where a community member came to us with an idea and the commission responded. It has been so popular that we started out with 6 murals, and we are now up to 10. So each year we were able to add 2 more to this exhibit. Community engagement is a large part of our public art program. We do not do any kind of a commissioned piece or even our temporary exhibits without involving our community in some way. And these are just some numbers that back that up. We have worked with 90 individual artists from 8 different states. 86 individuals have served on public art work groups or selection committees. And we've had over 1,700 responses to public art surveys. So I just wanted to highlight a couple things that are in our budget this year. I know at our budget workshop, we didn't really talk public art, so I just wanted to mention these tonight. Artwork maintenance. By ordinance, 10% of the budget for each project is to be set aside for the care and maintenance of artwork. We feel strongly enough about that we want to go ahead and get enough set aside into a maintenance sub-fund that is kind of restricted and can't be used to, put in more art. So To get really caught up with our current collection and its value, we are proposing taking $100,000 out of what could be available in our public art fund and getting it into this maintenance sub-fund. We just think that, as our collection grows, as that value keeps increasing, we just need to be able to take care of it in the future, because these are things that will need care and maintenance. They're not, even progression, when I say it'll be there forever, well, only with some money down the road. So we want to make sure that's there. The second thing I just want to highlight is that in 2011, when the council authorized that funding for the public art program, they authorized a minimum of $50,000 and a maximum of $120,000 from discretionary hotel motel revenue in excess of the $2,550,000 base amount that was established at that time. In our budget for 23-24, we are asking that that maximum amount be increased to $150,000, just because costs are going up even for art. So that is one thing that we did include in our budget. And it has happened one year where the discretionary amount of revenue was not in excess of that $2,550,000, the year of COVID. So that year we did not get anything put into our public art fund. So that can happen. And I show you this just as an overview of really the last 5 years plus this coming fiscal year, just to show that we are spending the money set aside, which is exactly what it's there for. It does no good sitting in this trust fund just collecting dust. We have been diligent about getting projects done and adding to our permanent public art collection. You can see the fund balance there in the red and the collection value going up over those years. So what's next for the commission? We do have 3 of our current commission members leaving the commission at the end of March. That is going to be a huge change for us. They are taking with them 35 years of service. These are original members to the commission starting back in 2011. They have been so dedicated and done so much work to support this public art program and really to get it going, to get it even off the ground. So we will be appointing 3 new citizens to fill those vacant seats in April. And then you all know that I'm leaving as well, and Ryan will be coming on board. So I am going to turn it over to Brenda Sedlacek, our chair, and she's just going to share a few words with you as well.
Do I give my address? You can. Okay. Thank you. I'm Brenda Sedlacek, 1512 South 42nd Street, and I'm the current chair of the West Des Moines Public Arts Advisory Commission. And we just feel like it's appropriate at this time to give some thanks. First, we want to thank you for your continued support of the public art. We want to thank you for the original funding. A couple of you were here then, and we thank you for your vision and your farsightedness. We thank you for the opportunity to present this tonight, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve on the commission. It's been a wonderful experience, and we feel honored and privileged to be able to serve the city in this way. So thank you for that. We had a very good year, as you can see. We're busy and productive. We've had a very good 12 years. So we're very, like you, we're very proud of the public arts program in West Des Moines and the collection. We find that the permanent art and the temporary art bring joy to the city. It provides a here and visit. So, and we're just very happy that the hotels Yeah, it kind of works. So we want to thank the local, regional, and national artists who have work here artworks here in West Des Moines. They've brought the excellence that we've asked for and required, and we're just very pleased to have the experience with them. Also, we're thankful for the community who's been engaged in so many ways that was presented on the slide. Sometimes just voicing their appreciation, sometimes voting for their favorite mural or their favorite artwork around the pond, or serving on a selection committee or a work group. And the staff's done an amazing job of engaging the community. So we thank the citizens. And I want to thank thank the entire Parks and Rec staff. You've been very wise in developing the department that you have there. They do an amazing number of things, and they seem to do it all cheerfully and with a sense of playfulness, and it's just a joy to be affiliated with that department and have them do for us all that they do. We want to thank Sally Ortgies, the retiring director of Parks and Rec, and all she does. She's just been a dynamic leader and an effective manager. She plans, she solves problems, she communicates, like you see. She budgets. She's been farsighted, diplomatic, efficient, and fair, and we just thank Sally. Thank you, Sally. And we thank Ryan Penning, who will be the new director of Parks and Rec. He's the assistant right now. We find Ryan to be committed and knowledgeable and enthusiastic and feel he's well prepared to serve in this capacity. And we thank the Arts, Culture, and Enrichment Supervisor, Allison Olestad, sitting over here. She actually made this presentation. She and her assistant do all things visual for us, and she has a gift that she did that we'll present to you later. And also the Arts, Culture, and Enrichment Coordinator, Marnie Straight. We thank her. Both of them are dedicated, talented, creative, idea-driven, outreaching. They, in addition to all their other things they do, for us they do grant writing, event planning. They work with the artists and do these publications. We want to thank, too, Sally's predecessor, former Director of Parks and Recreation, Gary Scott, because he had the vision and the perseverance and the effectiveness to make this public art program happen. And we thank him. I don't think it would have started without Gary Scott. And we especially tonight thank you, the City Council, for your support and your funds. It just assures that the public art program will continue and that it will thrive in West Des Moines and bring a lot of those people here that Greg Edwards has tried to get us to have. So thank you for all you do for the public arts program in West Des Moines.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Brenda.
Oh, you're welcome.
And just as a little thank you gift to you, we now have enough pieces to put together a little lookbook of all of them. So a gift for you all of our permanent art collection.
Oh, that's nice. I love that.
It is a living document, so hopefully it'll become old fairly soon, right? When we get the next piece. You're welcome.
Well, thank you to the Public Arts Advisory Commission. Thank you to Rita. Thank you to Brenda. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Diane, who's not here but going off. I know the three of you guys are going off, not Ryan. But, I remember when we started this up and, there was quite the brouhaha about it, trying to figure out how we fund this and how we fund it adequately and make sure that the money is there. And you remember that, Kevin, right? I remember door knocking for somebody, and I got a call from, Bill Van Orsdale, and, he was trying to make sure that we adequately funded the public art in the city, and worked with Scott Sanders to come up with this source of funding in the manner in which we did it. And oddly, he was just calling a second ago. And it's really worked out quite well. And I'm really proud of what we accomplished here. But I'm really proud of all of you guys, because as I always tell you, you guys took a small amount of money and you really thought out of the box. And when you first came up with that art on the campus, it was ingenious. And you really took that money and you made it go really, really far. And I think it's so cool. You got the John Papajohn Sculpture Garden down there, and that's an amazing sculpture garden. It is. But it's always the same things down there. And this rotates. Every year there's something different, and I see people walking around the pond. I see them looking at the different art sculptures, and it's just so cool. And then you brought in buying some of those pieces and making them permanent pieces. And it's just, this has led to this, which has led to this. And now we've got this, 36 different pieces, permanent pieces that are part of the collection, and just a vibrant public art community for people. And you guys have been so passionate about public art. Brenda, I remember sitting at your doorstep talking to you about school safety and also public art and how passionate you were. And I know your daughter is an artist and into that as well, and a great artist at that. So I appreciate everything you guys have done for us. This has been just amazing what you've been able to do with a small amount of money. So thank you for thinking outside the box and doing everything you did. Anybody have any questions, comments?
I do. Brenda and Rita, I want to thank you for your 12 years of service on this. As Russ said, you guys had the vision for making this what it is now and will be in the future. And I just want to thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
I too need to seize the moment and take a moment of personal privilege to thank you all for your involvement in what I think makes West Des Moines such a delight. I personally love walking the pond in the summertime, and I stop at every one of them and I look at them and I take pictures and I post them because they're all different every year. And, I even have a friend that says, when are they going to do the artwork around the pond? Because she comes out just to see that. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank the commission for all that you all do. Art is really important in the lives of who we are as human beings. And I just want to say that in life, the best thing that you can ever do is leave a legacy, a good legacy. It's leaving a legacy. And you're leaving West Des Moines a legacy of your vision and your fortitude and your patience and everything that you've done. So your legacy is well preserved, and it will be well preserved. So thank you so very much.
Yeah, I'll just say briefly, I'll echo those sentiments, and thank you for your service to the commission. I had the opportunity to serve on the commission, I think a couple years ago. It's been now, it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but I know you put a lot of time into these things. And so thank you for what you're doing there. And, as I was reading the packet over the weekend and I saw the provision in there about the maintenance fund, I think that is just you didn't have to do something like that. But it shows just how responsible you take the role, and that you have taken the role, and you've been able to do this for several years. And, as you said, Renee, it is a legacy, and making sure that that's taken care of over the course of time. It's so great to see you guys doing that. And I'll just say, it is wonderful to come out here. I know over the summer we had the progression, and you had the artist in for that, and I had my kids out here, and we came even to the mayor's tree lighting, and my kids were like, hey, you remember when we saw the artist out here? And they see, it's really fun, and so thank you for all you're doing.
Okay, anybody else before we move on?
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate the presentation and all you do. Okay, I've just buried my agenda here. All right, moving on. We've got council manager reports. We're going to start. Greg, you want me to start with you? Sure. Okay, we're going to start with Councilman Hudson. Actually, let's start with City Manager Haddon, since he's at the very end.
Okay, on your desk, on your desk in front of you is Jamie Lettering prepared the legislative update. Again, the statue, you said who it was of, this one? is me during the legislative session. So, I was the model, and I hope
Well,
you
you're
appreciate
svelte,
it.
man. You are svelte. You're in
Because,
shape and
because I was all tied up in knots.
you look
is
like
what it
you're
is. It
steel, a man of
should be-
steel.
Yeah, well, it's all tied up in nerves and knots and making me sick. But anyway, so I want you to look, hopefully this legislation is the worst-case scenario, so we're not going to go in detail tonight, and it's going to evolve as the session goes on. The committee will do their work, and Jamie continues to do her work, and our lobbyists. But if you read this, it is not, it's really, they don't want cities to grow, obviously, and if you grow, you're punished. So that's the message that's being sent right now, and Russ is smiling because he says, it'll all be good, Tom, it'll all just, everything will be taken care of because, they're all looking out for our interests, and I don't believe you, Russ, but okay. So just keep, if you have any questions, let us know, let Jamie know. Good news, we are pleased to report that the search for the next Westcom chief has concluded, and a conditional offer has been accepted by Udell Mintola. Mintola joins the city and the Westcom with an impressive career, including 25 years in public safety, 9/11 experience, 19 years of fire rescue and EMS experience, and 22 years of military career. Most recently, Mintola has been serving as an information services and technology director for Saudi Bell Company. Mintola has developed and implemented 9/11 public safety technology and programs at the agency, state, national, and international levels. The planned start date for Udell is March 20th of this year. So I want to thank everyone on the HR, Kelly was heading up this search, and Mark McCullough for stepping up as the interim chief, and he's still got to continue there for a while. But I think we'll bring Udell up in front of you when he gets settled and he's moving to West Des Moines. Actually, his home is he's located in Saudi Arabia right now, but his home is in Missouri, and he's going to move his family here. So just so you're aware of that, and we're looking forward to his presence here. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. I didn't know you were serving that capacity. Thank you for all you do, man. That's awesome. Okay, Councilman Hudson.
Oh, not a lot to report. There was a Parks and Rec Board meeting. I guess it's been almost 3 weeks ago now since we had a 2-week gap in City Council meeting. But just want to thank the Parks and Rec Board members for continuing to, give us good insights on what to do in regards to our parks. Homeless Coordinating Council met 2 weeks ago also. A lot of the talk has been about the report because there was a survey of unhoused, and so still figuring out steps forward on how best our entire region can serve the unhoused community. And let's see, anything else? Nope, that was really it. Just thank you to all the departments for their long Saturday, because we had a very, very long Saturday, our budget workshop. So I appreciate hearing all the awesome things that are happening. And that's the end.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman McKinney.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess a couple of quick items. The first, I was going to mention, you're talking public art here. We had a great event with Bravo over the weekend. They had their annual gala downtown, incredibly well attended. It was so great to see so many folks from, throughout the region celebrating arts and culture. And it's a great reminder of all the things that, the community can collectively do to lift up so many different folks. I mean, obviously Ballet Des Moines, but they're, here in West Des Moines. And so many different organizations that benefit from that. So it's great to highlight that. The second thing I'd say is we had a development and planning meeting this morning, informational in nature, but one thing I thought I'd bring up here is there's several parts of the city that are going to be going through, I'll say, a decent zoning change. In fact, we're going to be eliminating zoning from a number of parcels. I don't know how many, probably several dozen parcels as a result of adopting the comp plan. And so that's going to be going through P&Z, and property owners have not yet been notified. It sounds like they will be. They've probably been familiar with this because of what happened to the comp plan. But it'll be interesting. We're going to have quite a few areas in the community that have no zoning until one of two things happens. One, when we adopt our future zoning ordinance, or two, possibly not until development actually occurs in those areas. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. I thought you guys should be aware of it because it will go through P&Z and then it'll have to come to us for us to unzone, 40, 50, several different properties. So anyway, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Councilwoman Hardman.
Thank you. I want to first of all start off as said I attended my first Valley Junction Foundation meeting and was pleased with the discussion and the dialogue of all that's going on with the Valley Junction Foundation. But the one thing I want to report today is that I also had the opportunity to attend the City View Best of Des Moines Awards. And whatever they call it, Valley Junction won as one of the best places for shopping. Is that correct, Steve? And so we were excited to celebrate that success. And it was, I think, 2 years now in a row that Valley Junction area is designated as City View's Best of Des Moines places to shop. So wonderful job there. It was really a delight to be with the team as they celebrated that success. So I'll continue to report more things, but that's the one I wanted to highlight this time is that. Are you guys still celebrating, Steve, I would imagine? Okay, just starting. Okay, all right. I also wanted to, again, thank the staff for all the work that they did for the budget. I was talking to the mayor on the way coming, and I said, I think I've been to 5 of them, and as others have said, it's probably one of the best, and a lot of it is because of the good work that they continue to do. It keeps it being elevated and elevated and elevated. And so got a great team of folks working. And I think what made it special, too, is that some of the colleagues are going to be retiring, and to hear the kind of compliments and accolades from the folks that are leaving, it really makes your heart sing. So it was just kind of special. Sad, but special, but happy for them as well. I also attended the Planning and Development meeting this morning. I won't repeat about the deliberations work, as Councilman McKinney has just done that, but did attend that meeting as well. Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Trevilian.
Nothing this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilman Lotz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be really brief. Couple of things. Councilman Hudson and I have been working on hotel rental tax applications, so those are due for the funding that comes through, and there's been a lot of activity around that in January. Secondly, I want to thank staff for all of the thoughtful work they did on the budget from our workshop on Saturday. It's astounding to me how much work goes into it. But, you know, it makes me proud to be part of this organization when I see that and see how well our city's managed. The last thing I want to bring up, I want to give a special thanks to our mayor and our city manager. As many of you may know, we had an issue with the food bank in DMARC in the months of October, November, December. And I want to thank you guys for your leadership to get that solved. There's still some more operational things there that Althea is dealing with in the background, but our people in West Des Moines have food flowing back again. So thank you for that. My grandfather used to say you can really judge somebody's character when things go wrong, and you guys showed it. So thank you.
Well, thank you. It was a team effort, and you and Althea started it out and shined a light on it and led the way, and people have had other meetings behind the scenes, and you name it. Councilman McKinney was involved in meetings, and City Manager Haddon was involved, and, you know, really was a huge team effort, but I appreciate you guys shining the light on what was going on. You know, when you first sent the text message, we had no idea what we had coming. So thank you, and of course, Althea and her staff for having to work a new way to get it done and make sure that people are fed. And I know that change isn't easy, but you guys are working every day to make it work. So thanks for that. And I would just echo really quickly, too, the budget workshop. It was absolutely an amazing budget workshop. I think it was my 13th one, and it by far and away was the best budget workshop that I've been a part of. And again, I agree. Staff does an amazing job. You know, the budget team does an incredible job putting the document together. The presentations were amazing. The dialogue back and forth was incredible. So it was just a really, really fun day. So thank you to everybody for that. And I was with Councilman McKinney, and I want to thank him for being our representative on the Bravo board and everything that he does there. And Bravo Gala was a great event and definitely showcasing local artists and local culture and all kinds of things. It was a great evening. So, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Public safety.
Okay, go ahead.
I do need to make sure I acknowledge the committee that Councilman Hudson and I attended for public safety, because they're busy too and doing work, and major discussion that we had is reviewing preliminary work that needs to be done regarding BYOB establishments, and also tightening up processes that allows for bars to have aged children in the bars with their adult members, family members or whatnot. So there is some work being done to kind of tighten that process up, and we'll hear more about that later. So I do want to thank Chief Scott for his leadership in helping us address that, and legal counsel as well. But we're going to hear more on that in terms of making West Des Moines a bit safer for minors that are in these establishments with their adult family members, and the whole concept of BYOBs.
Okay, thank you for that addition. I thought you were going to say make West Des Moines great again. I thought that's where you were heading there with that, but, oh, okay, all right.
It's not my phrase, that's.
Okay, moving on. We're going to move on to item 4, consent agenda. Are there any items that any council person would like to pull and have a separate vote on?
Yes, Your Honor, 4N.
Okay, 4N is going to be pulled, and I will, of course, also pull 4U so that I can read the proclamation. Any other items? Otherwise, I take a motion to move the remainder.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and
We'll
seconded.
need to re-sign in.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. We need to re-sign in. Thank you, Ryan, keeping us on our toes. Okay,
5 members present.
okay, now I'm going to say, is there a motion to move the remainder?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we're going to pull 4N and 4U. Please vote on the remainder of the consent agenda items.
5 yes.
Okay, item 4N, Councilman Lotz.
I'll be abstaining for potential conflict of interest. My daughter is a lifeguard.
Okay, I appreciate that. Would somebody like to move item 4N, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Doug, you're not going to be the lifeguard?
You don't want to be the drowning person.
All right, please vote. Please vote.
Four yes, 1 abstention due to potential conflict of interest.
Okay, item 4U, and I know we've got one of our Human Rights Commissioners here, Rudy Trejo, with us, and I appreciate him being here. We're going to read the proclamation for Black History Month, February of 2023. Whereas during the month of February, the city of West Des Moines recognizes the immeasurable contributions of African Americans to our city, state, and nation. And whereas first created in 1926 by Dr. Carter G. Woodson as a week-long observance to accurately represent Black history, it would be adopted 60 years later as a month-long celebration by Congress in 1986. And whereas this month provides us the opportunity to promote the countless contributions of African Americans that have enriched the lives of every American. Whereas, despite the enduring history of enslavement, injustice, and discrimination, African Americans have played a pivotal role in U.S. history. Their contributions to agriculture, medicine, science, politics, arts, and countless other fields have spurred economic opportunities for all. And whereas, throughout West Des Moines history, our African American community has played a significant role in the development of historic Valley Junction. Serving as rail and cement workers, they helped build the railroad and make the cement that would be used to pave roads and sidewalks, ultimately furthering the vision of historic Valley Junction. And now, therefore, I, Russ Trimble, Mayor of the City of West Des Moines, Iowa, do hereby proclaim February 2023 as Black History Month, and I call upon the residents of West Des Moines to learn about the history and current experiences of African Americans throughout the year and encourage you to attend one or more of Black History Month events happening in this city. And can I get a motion to approve the proclamation?
So move.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, I also, before I open it up to anybody that would like to make a comment, I would just like to say that there are a couple events that we have right now on the calendar. The Double V campaign, African Americans in the Armed Forces, that's Thursday, January 16th at 6. Sorry, it says January on here. Thursday, February 16th at 6 PM at the Learning Resource Center, 3550 Mill Civic Parkway. That is going to be led by Al Womble, one of our residents here. And also Iowa Files, Scraps of African Heritage Workshop, Sunday, February 19th at 2:30 PM at the West Des Moines Public Library at 4000 Mills Civic Parkway. So I'd encourage you to check out those events if you're able to make it. Any comments, questions? Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead,
I'm
Renee.
sorry. Well, I certainly can't allow this month to go by without making a comment and offering my support as well. I want to first of all thank Audrey Kinnis for helping develop this proclamation. And I also want to thank the Human Rights Commission. And they're here, so we should get a picture as we do with the other proclamations. Hope we'll do that. But I just want to say that I appreciate the words that have been written. There is a lot that goes into really taking out this month to acknowledge from whence we've come. And, you know, I stand on the shoulder of giants, and there are so many folks that have done great things that have had significant contributions to the world. And I think that we know that this whole concept of this month was born out of a lot of times, in many cases, where accomplishments have been suppressed and not acknowledged. And so thankful folks have realized that it's a time to celebrate, it's a time to honor, and it's a time to reflect upon where we're going as a society and how it is we want to, again, value the contributions of folks that, again, the history books have not, have written about in some cases. So I'm just really proud that the city is recognizing this as a month, and I hope that we all take our families and ourselves to events, and there are lots of other events that are happening throughout the metro to allow us to, again, celebrate with our fellow human kind. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. Any other discussion, any other comments? Okay.
Can I echo what Renee said?
Okay.
Thank you for saying it.
Yeah, very well said. Okay, please vote. Yeah.
5 yes.
Okay, and if the council would join me down front and the Human Rights Commission representation, join me down front so we can take a picture.
Vicki, you join us too. Vicki, why don't you join us? Your family's made a lot of significant contributions. I kind of heard us in there a little bit. Hi there.
All right, you gotta come up front. You gotta come up front. No, you gotta stand up front. All right, you're all in? Yeah. You want to center this way a little bit? Okay, let's move down, move down.
Let's get that. Okay. Can you see us all over here?
Now ahead a little bit.
Okay, say cheese. Cheese. One more time.
Cheese.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor. Thank you. Audrey, thank you for the great. Thanks, Audrey. Okay, item 5, old business. There is no old business. Moving on to item 6, public hearings. We've got one item. This is the time and place for a public hearing to consider a 2022 sewer rehabilitation program initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice is published?
January 20th, 2023 in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comment to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody in the audience like to address the council on item 6A, please come to the podium right here. Give us your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no movement at all, I'm going to move on to online. Anybody online, please hit *6 to unmute yourself. Again, *6, not the #6. Okay, hearing no one, I'm going to declare the public hearing closed. We have got a resolution adopting plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the 2022 sewer rehabilitation program. We got a motion receiving and filing a report of bids, and we've got a resolution awarding the construction contract to Vizu Sewer, Inc. We can take these all at the same time. Would somebody please make a motion to move these items?
approval.
Okay, is there seconds? Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 7, new business, replat of Lot 8, or item 7A, replat of Lot 18, Jordan Creek Town Center, Plat 1, replat 1, 190 South Jordan Creek Parkway, approved final plat to create one lot for commercial development, Jordan Creek Town Center, LLC. We've got a resolution for approval and release of the final plat. There are no outstanding issues. Does somebody want to move approval of the resolution?
So moved. Approval.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Five yes.
Okay, item 7B, Microsoft DSM 13, 5855 Southwest Cary Street, approved major modification to site plan to allow construction of a data center building. Microsoft Corporation, we've got a resolution for approval of major modification to the site plan. There are no outstanding issues, and this was approved unanimously by Development and Planning and Planning and Zoning.
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 7C, we have Microsoft DSM 41, 111, or 111,000.
100. 11,100.
Boonville Road, approved major modification of the site plan to allow construction of data center building. Microsoft Corporation, we've got a resolution for approval and major modification of the site plan. Again, we've got no outstanding issues, and this also was approved by Development and Planning and Zoning unanimously.
Motion for approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, please vote. Who would have such a big address?
You got it, though. You got it, man.
5 yes.
Item 7D, plat of survey parcel 2023-6, 1623 Burr Oaks Drive. Approved plat of survey to create a 1/10 acre parcel for transfer of ownership, JPDN II LLC. We've got a resolution for approval and release of the plat of survey. There are no outstanding issues and just one condition of approval, which is a lot tie agreement being executed. Can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
Motion for approval. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
5 yes.
Okay, item 8, receive, file, and/or refer. We have no items to receive, file, or refer. Item 9, other matters. We normally have legislative update. It's been handed out to us on the dais, so we will not have a presentation on that. We've got a number of bills here that you all need to take a look at, and I also want to take this time to thank our legislative committee, which I believe is still Councilman Trevelyan, Councilman McKinney, also Deputy City Manager Letzring, and I know that City Manager Tom Haddon participates in that as well. So thank you for all you do on the legislative front and watching out for us. Any other items that any councilperson would like to bring up before we adjourn? Going once, going twice.